What's up, YouTube? Fanturret here to talk about Bungou Stray Dogs episode 14 review, season 2 episode 2, however you want to look at. So with this episode, we get more onto the whole story of Mimic versus the Port Mafia and Daiza and Oda trying to solve the mystery of what happened to Ango and where did he go, and if it's a possibility that he had betrayed them, which they do kind of come to that conclusion throughout this episode. And that's pretty much what this whole episode is. You get Daiza working on his planning. He's trying to leave traps for Mimic to try and come in and see if they find any clues on the Port Mafia or any money. So apparently what this Mimic mercenary group is, it's like an organization like of veterans or of war people who have fought in war, who are like haunted by the troubles of war, and apparently the leader is very powerful. And then you get Oda, who's still trying. Oda-san, I'm gonna call him Oda just for short, who's still trying to solve the mystery here with Ango and then Daiza. That's pretty much what this whole episode is just them solving things and looking for Ango. Now, what this episode really did well was it was really good on showing characters their true colors, showing the characterization of Daiza and Oda. You could see that Oda, even though he's part of the Port Mafia, he's really a very gentle person. In this flashback, you show him talking to a bunch of orphans, and they like jump him, and then he like messes around with them. And apparently, those orphans lost their parents to a certain event called the Ryuzu dispute 2 years ago, and they brought up that dispute 3 times. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a huge plot device later on in this season. Because when you bring up something like a dispute or a disagreement or something that happened 3 times in one episode, you know that's like future foreshadowing right there. But not only that, we also got some characterization with Daiza. You see, when Daiza is leaving his traps for Mimic to come, and one of them is actually successful, they capture the Mimic soldiers and they tie them up. But apparently one of the Mimic soldiers got away and he was starting to attack them. But then we get introduced to Ryunosuke, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, in this episode, where he pretty much takes out the rest of the Mimic army. And Daiza is not really happy about that. See, throughout this season, or this flashback, so to say, we've seen Daiza and the way he acts, and he looks the same character that we've seen in the previous season in Bungou Stray Dogs, where he was very kind, very nice, very happy-go-lucky, and it looked to me like he was the same character in the Port Mafia. Well, in this episode, that changed completely. He was pissed at his subordinate for killing them, because now you lost clues, you leave a trail going stale, and he punishes them by punching the shit out of him, and he didn't even wait for any excuses. He was cold-hearted. And he tells this guy, oh, if Oda was the one who had gotten you from the slums, he might have raised you properly and treated you right, but that's not who I am. Well, the way I am with subordinates. And then he shoots at him 3 times. And then Ryunosuke is able to activate his power, and he blocks it. And he's like, oh, see, you are able to do it. But we weren't 100% sure if he was able to defend those bullets. If he wasn't able to, he might have died right then and there. But then he gives him a warning. The next time you do that again, I'm going to punch you twice, and I'm going to shoot you 5 times. So there's a possibility that if he shot him more than 3 times, he would have been dead because his shield wouldn't have been up for so long. So you get you see Daiza's true colors, how he was in the Port Mafia. He's a scary dude. He's someone you do not want to piss off. And I'm really interested on what happened to Daiza and why he left the Port Mafia and why does everyone else hate him? Unless he's like still a rat for the Port Mafia. That'd be crazy right now, man. But I want to see what is his deal. Why did he leave the Port Mafia? I'm really interested because it looked to me he was going to take over sooner or later and be the head honcho, because he's a badass, he's strong. But he also brings up a certain point. He believes that Oda is the strongest one in the Port Mafia if he really did give a damn. The guy who doesn't kill, who's really gentle, and it kind of like scares everyone else and it gets me hyped up. But then the end of this episode, it makes you believe that Oda might be dead when they're flashback into him drinking with Ango and Daiza. So apparently Oda finds Ango, and it makes it seem like Ango was actually infiltrating Mimic, and only the boss knew. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's a little predictable. I mean, that happens all the damn time. It looks like someone's a traitor, but it turns out he's actually an infiltrator. Not a traitor, an infiltrator. But then here it kind of does a little twist where a ball rolls towards Ango after he saved his life while using his power. He touches the ball and then he sees the future, saying, "Oh, you're gonna die from this because it's poison." Then he realizes, "Oh shit! The only person who would have done that knows my power very well." But then Ango tells him, "Oh, thank you for saving my life. I really do appreciate it. I really was looking forward to drinking you guys in the future." But then he walks off with these soldiers who look like real war soldiers, and then all of a sudden we cut to another flashback of them drinking. I think Oda is just thinking of them drinking in the past, but it looks to me like as if they killed them off in this episode, which I hope that didn't happen, because I want to see this guy go full ham and kill someone. I want to see his full strength, because the way Daiza hyped him up, you're expecting them to show that at least in the future or like in some kind of flashback, and I really hope they show that this season. As far as this episode goes, the pacing was really good and fast and like crisp. And you have to pay attention to the dialogue, and I absolutely love that. I love where I have to listen to what they're talking about instead of it showing flashbacks. They talk, the way they talk is as if it's natural dialogue, as if real people were talking amongst each other, instead of it just doing an info dump. You have to listen to their conversations. It doesn't sound forced. It doesn't sound like they're throwing a bunch of conversations, a bunch of exposition. They're talking normally, and the way that they brought up the Ryuzu dispute, I had to look back twice to get that name down, because I know that they brought it up 3 times, but they brushed over it briefly. So I'm really looking forward to this season with the Ryuzu dispute and with Daiza. And I'm really liking this flashback. I don't know how many more episodes it's going to last though. I'll give this 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really love the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Fantard out.